This guy is one of the biggest personalities in all of Madden. And this right here is maybe the biggest one-play touchdown in all of Madden, which he created and has been using it to absolutely decimate his opponents. Mayz is known throughout the Madden community for his energy, creativity, and over-the-top personality that makes us laugh our butts off in every video. But despite his hilarious content, his offense is no laughing matter, and his high-powered schemes have been destroying the opposition, leading him to an extremely impressive top 10 finish in Weekend League just last month, and helping him take down some of the best pro Madden players in the world. With just 3 insanely powerful money plays all from the same formation, Mayz has blazed his own trail and created a new meta offense that can attack every single spot on the field. The first 2 plays of Mayz's scheme are incredible on both next-gen and current-gen Madden 22, and while the third play only works on next-gen, for my current-gen guys, I have 2 brand new setups that are exclusive to current-gen that I'll go over when we get to that point in the video. So whether you're on next-gen or current-gen, if you want to make your opponent's rage quit faster than you can say,
I want you to pull your out of my and insert it into my,
then you absolutely need to know how Mayz destroys defenses in Madden 22. Mayz runs his scheme out of the gun-tight flex formation using plays that can only be found in the LA Rams playbook. Gun-tight flex is a compressed set with all 4 receiving threats in tight near the offensive line, which provides endless combinations of crossing patterns that are an absolute nightmare for the defense to guard. Now, some people may not like that you can't block the tight end of this formation, but you do have the option to motion the running back up to the line of scrimmage to serve as an extra blocker if you feel like you need a little bit more time in the pocket. You can run this entire scheme without any special abilities, but like I say in every video, you can get the most potential possible out of this scheme if you have Escape Artist on your quarterback. Now, you guys of course already know that Escape Artist allows you to scramble with your quarterback and pick up yards on the ground if nothing is open, but an underrated aspect of Escape Artist is that it allows you to get outside the pocket and extend the amount of time you have before you pass the ball, and that gives your deep routes time to develop while also minimizing your risk of getting sacked. So for that reason, Mayz strongly recommends having an Escape Artist quarterback, but if you're more of a pocket passer, it just means that you'll always have to be disciplined and be willing to take your checkdowns if the pass rush is coming in fast. And to round out his abilities, Mayz uses Slot Apprentice on one receiver and Pass Seed Elite on his quarterback, and like I say in every video, I strongly recommend using a quarterback who has a throwing ability like Set Feet Lead, Pass Seed Elite, or Gunslinger so that you can have extra velocity on every throw and fit the ball into tight windows. And to know which quarterbacks get those abilities, here are my quarterback recommendations for both Regs and Mutt at the time of this recording. So now we're ready to go over Mayz's setups, but before we do, I just want to thank all of you guys for the insane support you've shown for the channel over this past month. We've been growing like crazy, and I promise I'm going to keep grinding and keep working my tail off to bring you guys the best videos possible. So thank you once again, guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and now let's get started. The first play of Mayz's high-powered scheme is going to be Mesh Spot, and while this does look pretty similar to another version of Mesh Spot that we looked at in my video on Thrones offense, there are some key differences in how Mayz runs it. All of Mayz's setups out of Mesh Spot have the same fundamental route concepts, but he adapts to each defense and game situation by utilizing 4 different setups. Setup 1 of Mesh Spot is Mayz's favorite. He always runs it with his running back lined up on the short side of the field, and the adjustments are to put the outside receiver on a streak, put the slot receiver on a flat, put the tight end on a slant, and put the short side receiver on a flat route. The read progression starts with the running back on the wheel route, which if it's open, Mayz will throw to every time. If it isn't open or the user takes it away, Mayz then looks to the other side of the field where he has an excellent high-low concept between the slant from the tight end and the flat route from the slot receiver. Now, if Mayz is facing an opponent who's running a lot of man coverage, then he goes to setup 2 where the adjustments are exactly the same, except this time he puts his slot receiver on a zig route. Both the slant and the zig are excellent man-beating routes, and even if it ends up being zone coverage, these routes still have excellent spacing as a high-low concept. Now, setup 3 does require Hot Route Master or Slot Apprentice, but this is for situations where Mayz wants to attack a little deeper, either because he needs yards in a hurry, or maybe because an opponent has a zone drop set to guard the slant. All he has to do is flip the formation, and now with the running back on the other side, he puts the tight end on the flat or zig route, and then puts his Slot Apprentice receiver on a crosser. Against both man and zone coverage, the crosser is maybe the best route in the entire game, and Mayz takes full advantage of it. Now, down near the goal line, Mayz turns to setup 4 of Mesh Spot, and the only variation from setup 1 is that this time, instead of a streak, he puts his slot receiver on a hitch. This is an extremely difficult route combo to guard because while the user is busy guarding the running back wheel route, the hitch will hold zone defenders in the middle of the field field, and the flat route will hold defenders in the flat, allowing the slant to get wide open near the back corner of the end zone. The second play of Mayz's scheme is going to be slot curl, which takes advantage of this awesome corner route from the outside receiver on the side opposite of the running back. For setup 1 out of slot curl, Mayz prefers to run this with his running back lined up on the short side of the field, and his only adjustments are to put the running back on a wheel route and to smart route the curl. The conservative read progression would be to first look at the running back on the wheel route and throw to him if it's open, but in this case, Mayz read the cover 2 defense and knew the corner route would get open in the corner of the end zone. If we watch it back, we can even see the cornerback get brought down by the drag route, opening up the corner route even more. For setup 2 out of slot curl, the only adjustments Mayz uses are to block the running back and put the outside receiver on the side of the running back on a smart routed in route. This is a designed QB rollout with 3 routes all flowing in the same direction, and Mayz's read progression is to first look at the corner route, and if it's covered, to come back to the in route. Most of the time, the corner route gets open, however, and Mayz can hit it for the easy touchdown. The third play of Mayz's scheme is PA post shot, and this is the play that single-handedly takes this entire scheme to a whole new level. Setup 1 is to run the play completely stock, and that's because every route on this play is excellent at attacking both man and zone coverage. With all 4 routes crossing at different depths to the opposite sideline, it's basically guaranteed that against zone coverage, one of them is going to be open. Mayz especially likes running this play stock against man coverage, and the crosser from the slot receiver is usually a great bet to get a ton of yards. Now, before we get into setup 2, which is a next gen only setup, like I promised, I first want to give my current gen guys 2 amazing setups out of this play. So to bomb cover 3 on current gen, make sure you're on a hash with your running back to the wide side of the field, and the adjustments are to streak your short side outside receiver and motion over your wide side outside receiver. The motioned over crosser will hold down the outside third, and the other crosser will take the middle third with him, leaving the streak wide open for the easy touchdown. To bomb cover 4 drop on both current gen and next gen, make sure you're on a hash with your running back to the short side of the field, and the adjustments are to motion out your wide side outside receiver, put your slot receiver on a streak, and put your tight end on a curl. From there, you just have to wait on the outside receiver on the deep post to get open, and make sure you pass lead it straight to the outside to hit him for the huge touchdown. Now back on next gen, Mayz's final setup out of PA post shot is what he uses to beat basically every coverage in the game. Mayz prefers to run this setup with his running back to the wide side of the field, and the adjustments are to put the running back on a wheel route and put the slot receiver on a streak. Sometimes Mayz will play it safe by hitting the wheel or drag route if they're open, but against cover 2, cover 3, cover 4 drop, and man coverage, Mayz's #1 goal on this setup is to buy time behind the line of scrimmage and then launch it to his receiver on the deep post for the enormous one-play touchdown. Mayz's gun-tight flex is arguably the best offense out of all the Madden YouTubers, but he does have some tough competition from this guy named Throne, so I'll let you check out this video and decide for yourself whose offense is #1.